Hi everyone, thanks for joining me tonight. It's Charmaine with Alchemy Attitude Artistry. I'm not going to show you my face because tonight, as you can see by my canvas, I've already had a fail. I scraped and I am going to start again. You don't want to see my face because I already have paint in my hair. I'm working on a 15 by 30 canvas. I'm going to try and do a deconstructed bloom. Let's hope this second one works. My paint mixture tonight is a lovely blue, which is Payne's Gray by Atelier, and it has in it some of this little piggy nebula in it. And then the next in the lineup is a mixture of Rust-Oleum Pearl White, as well as it also has Rust-Oleum's Metallic Real Pewter, and it also has in it some Indigo Waves, and that's our blue, another blue that I have there. I also have a really pretty orange, and I hope that I have enough to do this canvas tonight because I've already failed once. So it is the Montmartre Orange. And added to that, I also added some of this little piggy Harvest Gold. And I also added to it, I believe, it is the Dark Cadmium Yellow Hue by Pebeo. And then our next color is another custom color, a combination color that I've created, which kind of almost looks like a grape purple. It's on the purple side. It was a mixture of purple that I had just left over on my table, and to that I added some of the Little Piggies Harvest Gold, this Little Piggies Harvest Gold, and I also added some Artist Loft Crimson to that to make that color combination. And what else have I got? Oh, I've got some the Rust-Oleum Metallics bronze, which I added some of the Liquitex Basics bronze as well, and I did, I think, put in there a little bit of the Harvest Gold by this Little Piggy as well. And then I have this really pretty green that I've created, and it has in there the Pebeo Studios Chrome Green Hue, as well as the Pebeo Studios Iridescent Green Yellow. And to that I added this Little Piggy's Emerald, just to give it a bit of a shimmer, which I like to do. And then tonight, for our cell activator, I'm going to use white, which is the Amsterdam Titanium White with 4 parts of the Australian Floetrol. And I have on standby as well, just in case I want to use it, the Lamp Black by Amsterdam, and it's got, again, 4 parts of the Australian Floetrol, roughly, because I really don't measure a whole lot. I make it up as I go along. So I'm going to put on some gloves, get down my pillow paint. My pillow paint is a mixture of Glidden Premium Semi-Gloss White. I use 4 cups of that. I use about 1/3 of a cup of GAC 800, and because I think it's very thick, too thick for my purposes, I also add about 1 cup of water as well, just to thin it out. My pouring medium for my colors tonight is Behr Deep Base 8300 High Gloss Interior Exterior Untinted Paint. And I also add to that, I know some use Jasonya's varnish. I use Gloss Varathane, which I can get fairly inexpensively and fairly readily here in Canada, which is where I am at. And I add that to my colors. And then if I need to, this is just straight up Varathane in an extra little bottle. If it gets a little bit thick for my purposes, then I just add a little bit more Varathane if I need to. So I'm just gonna stick that off to the side as well. I don't need to have that right in front of me. My blow dryer is a Berta. I bought it from Amazon, and I think here in Canada, I think I ended up getting it for $29 or $39 or something like that. It's a 1,000-watt blow dryer, and it works very well. So I'm just grabbing myself a pair of gloves so that I can get started. And then I'm gonna put down my pillow paint. Get a good even coverage on my canvas, which is a 15 by 30, I think I said, deep edge. Level 3 canvas that I bought from Michaels. Michaels recently had 60% off on all of their canvases, so I stocked up so that I could play a lot in the paint. Okay, and I'm going to apologize ahead of time because of my camera angle, trying to get this big canvas in within a shot of you being able to see what it is that I'm doing. You may periodically see my big arm in the way, but at least you're not going to see my head in the camera frame because I've got paint in my hair right now. And I've got paint all over my floor, so there will be a cleanup on aisle 5 later on tonight. Okay, let's get my pillow down. I am going to tilt it and try and get as much coverage as I can on my canvas. I'm going to try to move fairly quickly because if I don't, the paint has a tendency to dry out. And I want to make sure that I've got enough of my pillow down. With the bigger canvases, it has a tendency to want to pool in the center, and I don't want that, but I also don't want my edges to dry out before I try to tilt to do a deconstructed bloom. And because I had a bunch of muck on my canvas, you're going to see some streaks. Try and keep that to a minimum on my canvas and get as much over my edges as I possibly can. The reason I wear my gloves is because I like to run my hands along the sides to make sure that my sides, my deep edges, are covered in paint as well. So having said all of that, don't want to bore you with covering my canvas. You've all flooded a canvas before, so you don't really need me to belabor that point for you. I'm just gonna run my fingers around my edges, make sure that they're covered. And because I had muck from the last that I just scraped, I want to make sure that I don't run too much of it into or onto my canvas on top, and I'm making a royal mess of that. So and I might have to come back and put a little extra on the top just to make sure that I am not too thin on top, because I want to have enough on there to tilt, but I don't want to have so much on there that it pools in the center. And I think that's it for my gloves for now, so I can take those off. And then I'm going to get started putting down my puddles. And I was going to try to do something called color blocking, and I tried that earlier, and it didn't work out so well, hence the reason I had to scrape my canvas. So I'm going to thin down my blue, which seems to be a little bit thick. The consistency of my paints, I will show you in half a second. Once I give this Varathane a bit of a quick stir, and you see it's quite runny. It goes down, it leaves a bit of a trace, but it does not leave a mound. That's what I want for my consistency. And as I look at my canvas, I'm just looking to see if I have any dry spots, and I think I have a couple. So I am going to put down a little bit more of my pillow where I scraped my hands across that canvas, just so that it's got some good coverage and I've got enough to be able to tilt and blow and not have any issues. I'm just really looking to see the reflection of the light off the wet paint, and that will give me an indication as to whether or not I have any areas that are looking a little dry. Okay, so heavy dollop of my blue, get that down. Maybe a bit of the green, get that down in the center. Nice healthy dollop. And remember, this is a big canvas, so I'm gonna have to put a lot down. I'm just gonna put a tiny bit of this brown because I don't want it to take over. I don't want it to muddy my colors. I'm gonna put a little bit of the orange down because that too can have a tendency to take over. My lighter blue on top of my orange. Bit of my purplish color in the center there. Maybe a little bit of the blue again. And a little bit of the orange, just a touch. Okay, now next up is going to be my cell activator. Put my white down. Good healthy dollop of that, and I think I have something there in the center of my, thought I saw something, but apparently not. Okay, and my second cell activator, I'm just going to put just a tiny bit of the black, just a touch. Okay, next up is my Berta, my blow dryer, and I'm going to put it on high, and I'm going to put it on cool shot, and I usually use my blow dryer upside down because my cool shot doesn't stay on. I actually have to press it, so hence the reason I blow it upside down, because it's just easier to handle. Okay, sorry about the noise. I'm going to get started and get this blown out quickly. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take my cell activator and I'm blowing my cell activator across all of my colors. You can see that I have lots and lots of really good healthy cells there, but I also have a collection of the black in the middle. So I'm going to take my straw and I'm going to blow down, and when I blow down, as I'm blowing down, I'm going to pull my straw back up so that there's only a light breath of air at the very end. So hopefully that will develop into cells. As it develops, it will create some cells. So in the meantime, I'm going to get started and get down my next bloom as well. Again, a little off center of the center. And again, another healthy dollop. Put some of my orange down on that, not a lot, because again, I don't want that to take over. I can't remember exactly what my color combination was, so I think it was green. I'm not sure. I think it was brown next. I'm really not sure. Then I'm going to put down my purple. I know you're all screaming at me, that's not what you put down the first time, but that's okay. It'll all work out in the end. Here's my blue. Did I miss any of my colors? No, I didn't. I'm going to put a little bit more of my darker blue in the center, just a little bit. And a little bit of that lovely grape color in the center, because I think that's what I did last time. I really honestly can't remember. I get into a zone and I just start to work and I can't remember for the life of me. Okay, and then the white cell activator, and then again a little dollop. You see, I only had a little bit of black last time and I've got a lot of black on there, so I want to make sure I stick with very little. Going to get my blow dryer and going to get that started on high and cool. Okay, and again, a little bit of the black pooling, so get in there and blow it out. And you see it created some nice cells in the center here once I blew it out. And so I don't want to have a big pool of it anywhere in particular. Okay, and one more bloom down here. And let's see if we can make that just as pretty. Okay. think it was my orange next. See, that orange has actually gotten lost. That purple has taken over, which is okay because I liked it, but it seems to have very much taken on a life of its own. Maybe it's the amount of purple that I put in the last one. I'm really not sure. And again, like I said, I get into a zone and I forget about everything. And then it's lost to me what colors I put down. And I think I put down the blue before I put down the purple, and it should have been the opposite way, but oh well. It is what it is now. And each of my blooms can look different. It's all right. I am not a stickler for anything in particular being exactly the same and balanced. I think that there's some nice things to be said about it not being exactly the same from bloom to bloom. This is my imagination, so that's the way it rolls here. Okay, so that's my colors down. Again, my cell activator. Good healthy dollop of the white. Little bit of the black, not too much because it can take over. And last one, let's blow it out. Okay, so that's it blown out. Still again, a little bit of the black. Just allow that to pool. And make the cells that I want it to make. And then what I will do is look at my edges, see where I do not have enough paint. Again, because this is a deconstructed bloom. So I am going to try to get my paint to flow over the sides and really take my blooms and make them not look like blooms anymore. That's the whole idea. And I need to encourage the paint to roll off the canvas. I apologize, you can see only my arm, and I'm not intending to block your view, but I just want you to see what I'm doing around all of my blooms. I need to make sure that they have enough paint to flow off easily. And it doesn't matter about my design at this point because I'm trying to deconstruct the design, which means my paint there has to be enough on my canvas for it to roll effortlessly off the sides. And to do that, I need to make sure that my edges don't catch the bloom where my design is, where it's dry, and make the paint design roll over itself. I want to have enough on my edges so that it can flow off easily. And I see some dry spots here. It's wet with paint, but you can see it's starting to dry. And just going to encourage my design to flow off. I'm sure you can't see because the bucket's in the way, and I apologize. Trying to get as much of that to an effect where it can just flow over. I just love a deconstructed bloom. I am not sure that I am good at doing this size because I just haven't got a lot of practice with this size. So hopefully you get to see this canvas, and I hope that I don't have to scrape it again, because that would be such a shame. Okay, now I am not going to put on another pair of gloves. I am going to, okay, I'll put on another pair of gloves because I have to. Okay, let's get ready and tilt this bad boy. Wish me luck. Here we go. Let's see if we can make this work for us. Okay. And tilting. Where am I tilting to? I'm looking to see where the weight of my paint is. And I've got some flow on the far side. You can't see it, but I've got some flow. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's starting to move, which is good. This canvas is so large that I almost feel like I'm getting my armpits into it. Right? Okay. That's good. Got it flowing off of that side. Let's get it flowing down to this side. Trying to angle it so you can see what I'm doing. What I want to end up with is oh, there's my paint. And it's moving, and that's good. I'm angling it up just a little bit more towards me. It'll end up looking like streaks rather than blooms, that's okay. Just kind of getting smushed. And it's rolling off the side, which is great. And back up. And I want to get it down to this corner where I've got all this negative space. Try and move my, I'm sorry, you can't see. And if I go in any other angle, maybe if I put it down. Okay. Maybe if I switch it. Thinking, sorry, thinking. Take it by the, turn it around. Dang. Okay. Now let's bring it back this way toward me. And apologies if you cannot see it. I'm trying to move it towards me now. Getting my colors to move. I want to get rid of some of this negative space that's down here. How do I do that? Without this one bloom does not want to move. So let's stop, look at it, and maybe encourage it with just a wee tad bit of paint. Wee bit around the edges of it. Maybe that will encourage it. Come on, move along. Nothing to see here. Let's go. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. I'm losing too much in my center. Got way too much negative space there now. How do I get it to move? That's the question. Okay. Put some paint in the center to get it to encourage it to move as well. Let's go back that direction. See if that will make it move. Back that way. Not liking that negative space. That's not what I want it to do. I don't want the negative space. I want that to stretch out a little bit. There we go. A little bit of movement, but not a lot. So I get one side that's got less negative space. I've got the other side not coming down, and that's not good. I don't want all that negative space at the top. So, what will I do? Well, I think what I'm going to do is blow out another bloom right there. That's what I think I need to do. One there and one there. Off go the gloves. Back to the paint. Put a dollop of paint there for my bloom. See if I can't blow one out. Okay, that'll be better. I'm getting low on my paint too. Have to be very careful with the amount that I use because I have 2 blooms that I just said that I was going to blow out, and if I don't have enough paint, that's not going to be good. So there we go. Okay, let's try this again. White cell activator down. Just a titch of the black, not much at all, because I've got a lot of black here, so I'm trying to eliminate some of my black there. Okay, high fan, cool. Okay, one bloom down, one more to go. One right here. Here's the rest of my orange going down. And my green. And my brown. And my light blue. And my purple. And then my cell activator. White and a bit of black. There we go. Okay, one more time. Let's blow this out. High fan and cool. Okay, let's tilt her again and see if we can make it happen this time. Okay, gloves again. I have gone through 5 pairs of gloves tonight, but that's sometimes just the way it rolls. One more time. See if we can get it roll like we want it to. Not want to roll. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. I know you can. There we go. I don't know if you can see that. It's rolling very, 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 very slowly. And that's okay. I'm going to get rid of that blackish bit too. Maybe make it roll just a little bit that way. There we go. We just lost that bloom that I just blew, but that's okay because I get to get rid of the bloom that I didn't like, which was this center one. And what I want to do is I want to get some more of that. You see how it's really very drippy and it's not moving very well. And I can even live with the spot at the very end, closest to the bottom, which you can't see right now, I apologize. That is white. This area over here is negative space, and I think that I can live with. What don't I like? I don't like this, which of course is just kind of hanging out there. So can I fix that? Can I encourage it to look differently? There's a gooby in it. That's why it's not moving so well. It's got goobies. There we go. Perfect. Now it looks like a little bird. Little sandpiper sitting on my canvas. Can I maybe pick up some of my, with my spoon, pick up some of the color and encourage it down the sides so I don't have big gaps where it doesn't have any color. And all I'm doing is putting some of the corresponding colors that are on my table onto my spoon and then rolling my spoon, not touching the canvas. All I'm doing is rolling the color down. And if I scrape underneath of it, underneath the canvas, I might get some of the color very close to what is already dripping. I'm trying to do a bit of a color match here so it doesn't look so odd. And I'm just looking for places where the paint did not slide off the canvas very nicely. Scraping the bottoms of my canvas and just taking some of it and rolling it down the side of the canvas. Really boring stuff, sorry. But these are the details that you want to capture so that your canvas looks nice in the end. Start at the hole and work your way down the canvas. I have a couple of really big spots here, and I don't know that I'm going to be able to cover all of it, but I'm going to try. Okay, and I guess I can do all of this off camera. You don't need to see me do each and every little piece, but I can see here on the top of my canvas, it didn't roll very well. So I'm going to start at the top of the canvas and just let the weight of the paint slide back down the canvas to fill that little gap. And then I'm just gonna take some of my paint from on my table and touch the corner where there's just white paint. And I can't very well see, you can see, but I can't see this side as well. And again, I'm just going to take one of my tongue depressors and scoop up some of my paint off the table and run it down the sides where it didn't hit the canvas, and just let the paint roll off. That doesn't look very nice because it's pure white, but I can take a color wash later and touch up my sides a little bit more. And again, because I still have some of my colors, I can do that. Do a color wash for those spots that didn't quite hit the sides. Okay, that's good enough for now. That is good enough. And the other side, looks okay. All right. Well, folks, hopefully you learned something, what not to do if nothing else on your canvases. This is a bit dark. I'm not really happy about that. This one turned out really well. I really like it. This center one I can live with. This one I'm really not happy about. If I had a little bit more paint, I might reblow on that one. But I don't think I will, because sometimes you just need to let the paint develop in the way that it's going to develop. See how it turns out. If it doesn't turn out well, then you can always reblow over top of it. One of the things that I am going to do, though, is that you should really remember to do is take your toothpick and just check, and you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but it is just literally the very tip that is wet from the paint. And I'm really looking for any areas where it might look like there's a lot of paint pooled, and I don't see any, so I'm good with it. As long as only the tip of my toothpick is covered, that means I got enough paint off. I tilted the daylights out of it, so hopefully that got enough paint off. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. That's it for me for Alchemy Attitude Artistry. My name is Charmaine again, and hopefully this was beneficial. It's not my best work, but we had fun doing it, which is the reason that I did the video to begin with. Thanks for joining me. Have a great night, everyone, and enjoy your painting. Bye now.